Hey yo, what up, what up, what up, what up everybody? How you guys doing? You can let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Alright, let me check something. Yo. I don't remember the right name, but I know it looks from behind. For the I got you, the top left corner. My bad. Alright, this one right here. The 911? Is that it called? Is that what it's called? The 911? Bro, just imagine, player, if you spend the next 6 months focused trying to learn how to trade. Yo, Krish, what up? If you just focus the next 6 months, we could get this car, bro. But you have to, but imagine, in order to earn that car, it's gonna take a lot of hard work. So just know for the next 6 months, it's gonna be a lot of hard work. You know what I mean? Even say a year, for the next year, it's gonna be a lot of hard work. But that's what makes that car that much more worth it, is when you work hard for it, and it's gonna take time. But honestly, guys, like, one thing that I could say is that the biggest thing is just looking at the charts. You guys have to look at the charts long enough to where it becomes a thing where, like, you start to notice things. This is where I seen a video of a guy, he had talked about this. He just said that it doesn't matter about you knowing anything. It's just, if you stare at this candle chart over and over and over for so many hours, eventually your brain is going to start picking up patterns, and then you're going to start recognizing things. This is why when you first started trading, it was hard to find support and resistance lines, or it was hard to find certain things because you just didn't know. But now that you're more familiar with trading and you're more experienced, it's easy to set up a line. I could set up a chart real fast, boom, 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 real quick, but when I first started, it would take me forever. So it's just, like I said, it's just a matter of staring at the charts all the time frames, staring at all the time frames over and over and over, and eventually your eyes are going to start picking up patterns. And then that's where I say, it's like, you'll start to notice things like this. That's why I understand, like, the whole three-piece idea, it came from understanding just looking at the chart for so many hours, and eventually you start to notice things. And then this is where I say too, look at what it almost, okay, so that's not a three-piece actually, but it's the same idea where it breaks the lows of here before going up. But then that's kind of also why, if you look to the right, why this long wick ended up coming back down was because this one also wasn't valid. So this one technically wasn't a valid to move. It was a move up, but the thing is if it was a three-piece, it would have indicated just going all the way up. But since it came back to grab more liquidity right here, that's why it started going up like that. But this was also during news, so that's why too. But just kind of like reading off of price action, it's kind of, and look, it definitely just hit the mark. Or actually, no, not yet. Actually, we're thinking about this mark up here, but it did hit this mark, the 57 level. But yeah, bro, like I said, it's really just about staring at the charts, bro. It's like, you can't, or I'm not saying you in person, but I'm just saying people in general. It's like, nobody could really just stare at a chart for 15-20 minutes and then expect to learn how to read the chart, So that's where I say, it's like, with me, what it finally happened was how many hours I spent reading these charts on live stream before it finally clicked for me. And it finally clicked. Yeah, now it's gonna start to waterfall, it looks like, possibly. Let's see. But this one doesn't have a bottom wick. That's the one thing I'm worried about. Or let's see, it has a small bottom wick. But the thing is if it has a small bottom wick, what that kind of says is there's no more range down there. But I mean, it could always keep coming. But like I said, what might need to happen is we might need to grab a little bit more liquidity up here, and then come down like that. But that was also on the 5 minute. So now we're on the look, we're on the actual 15 minute. But what happened is this 15 minute now created this range. So if we happen to close back inside of this range above this dotted line, this was just a 3-piece right now. Actually, if you kind of look at it, it's a 3-piece. So what that usually signals though is that we need to at least grab liquidity out of here. So what I'm thinking could at least happen is that we at least come back, you know, to these levels, possibly up here, before actually pushing down. And like I said, I'm not taking any trades right now or anything like that. I'm just we're gonna wait, because like I said, I already closed my trades for the day. But this did close below this range though. I mean, I wonder if that could mean anything. We're gonna see right now. But the reason why I say is that we are getting that pressure right there. So it's either we're gonna close back inside of this range, and then that's where I'm thinking we need to at least come into here. But if we just continue down, our time will come. We have to trust ourselves and keep following the well-matched trading strategy. Yes, bro, that is true. And that's where I'm saying, guys, it's like it's gonna be hard work. But this is where I say is the reason why I could read the charts is I'm not even saying I'm good at it, but the thing is I know how I need to get better, and the only way to get better is spend more hours on the charts. You know, compare yourself to somebody like Don Vo, who has thousands of hours on the charts, and you know, the new trader who only has a few hours on the chart. You know, there's a reason why he could read it so well compared to a new trader, you know. So it's just the same thing with yourself. It's just the more hours you put on the charts, the more you're going to start recognizing patterns. And that's how you get better at reading charts, is that you have to look at it. I heard this quote one time when somebody, I think it was Kobe Bryant, he was saying, you know, you could show up to practice every single day, but how many hours of practice is your mind focused on practice? And I use that same analogy pretty much for trading, to where a lot of times when, you know, we watch Don Vo trading, we're just sitting in front of the chart and our minds are somewhere else doing other things, like on our phones, or just waiting for him to say buy or sell. So what I say is, you need to have your mind focused while you're waiting for a trade signal, in a sense, if you're waiting for that, you know. So it's like, you can't just be sitting there, your mind is on something else. It's like, if you're sitting in front of the charts for 3-4 hours, you need to be reading the chart for 3 to 4 hours, because that's how you'll get the most out of the time that you're spending in front of the chart. If I'm sitting in front of this computer on stream for 3-4 hours, but I'm not even like reading the chart price action, I'm not seeing candles close, I'm not seeing candles open for the whole 3 hours, but I'm on my phone texting and just messing around, those 3 hours are just wasted time. So it's really just, you have to really just dedicate yourself. That's what I realized too with a lot of people who have trouble trading, is I believe it's just the fact that you don't spend enough time on the chart. And it doesn't matter any strategy, like, you can't learn a strategy, no matter what strategy it is, unless you're looking at the chart, you know. So at the end of the day, it's just recognizing patterns and things like that. So the more you look at the chart, the more you're going to recognize it. But yeah, that's like I say, just focus on looking at the charts. You really have to spend a lot of hours reading the charts. So if you're spending time on the chart, how many of those hours are real pure focus of reading the chart, you know? So like I said, look at, now that a new candle just opened, I'm reading at what is it doing? It closed under here, it created another support which looks like a celery play, and it looks like exactly the break of this low will usually continue back down. So if that's the case, this is why I need to be watching the charts at all times, because like I said, if this creates a support, what happens on that? But then now look, there's also no top wick that it opened up. So if I wasn't looking, and let's just say it starts to open a top wick now, I just missed the way this candle opened up and closes and stuff, and then now, like I said, that time is just wasted. So that's why I say every candle is important. Every minute you spend on this chart is important. So I mean, the idea of a salary play would be the break of these lows, because this doesn't have a long top wick. So if that's the case, the break of this low would usually be the one that pushes, yeah, like that. So where I would check for the next support or resistance will most likely be in these areas, possibly right here, for the fact that this is where we closed last time, even though there's no support or resistance right here. But it's just the fact that this is the next area. Well, let me see. I guess I can find it from right here. So it's gonna be probably, I would say maybe, I guess this one then, or no, I guess right here. Say that right there. Let's see where that's at least there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And this is on the 1 minute chart though, but that's where I say though, is that this is why it's important that you need to look at this. Is, I just got, like I said, me, even though I'm not taking a trade or anything, me reading these candles right now, I just got another repetition in. So now I just watched 2 more candles open and close, and then now we got another candle, how it closes. Look, closes underneath, it wicked up, went continue down. So what do you think might happen? Look at, boom, it just, and like I said, this is why you need to be watching candles open and close and stuff like that. But I'm not taking any trades, just for the reason that I'm already kind of done right now. So I'm already done. I already closed 32 pips earlier. I'm not gonna keep forcing a trade. But like I said, what I'm also doing though is just getting some repetition in on reading candles, reading how it closes, reading how it opens, and things like that. So like I said, I'm not just sitting here having fun, even though it's fun to me, but this is what should be fun, is reading the candles, how they open and close. And that's really the only way to get better. And I know a lot of times they say it's the weekend, you know, you want to spend time, you want to stay off the charts or whatever, but the thing is the way I think about it is that if you're not where you want to be in life, I guess, or even in trading, then you need to spend more time to get to where you want to be, and then you could relax, you know. So but yeah, Toby, this week was insane. 10% up. Good griefs, bro. GG. Good job. Love and wisdom to everyone, man. Good job. Good job today. I'm sure good job all week, Toby. That's the good discipline, and that's part of it. You know, every single day, just focus on getting better every single week, every single day. And just remember, and a lot of times new traders, they get discouraged. One thing I always remembered was when somebody would say, you can have, or I think Don said it, might have even said it. I just hear everything from Don, so I would assume he said it. But it's like they say, you can have a bad day but a good week. You can have a bad week but a good month. You can have a bad month but a good year. So at the end of the day, how you come back the next trade is always important, you know. So, but yeah, look at these candles just printing like that. Boom, boom, boom. Exactly. And if you guys understand how the salary play works, if you guys understand the salary, it usually needs to break 2 levels. Is when you're going in a direction, it needs to break 2 levels. So look, there's a level here. This could be a range right here, and then obviously, actually I could say this one could be the range, and then this would be the range also, because this is another resistance. So right here, pretty much all of this is another range, because that is where the support got created. So look, we have a support here, pretty much a support here, and then we have another support here. So that created pretty much 2 levels. So that level and this level. And that's where I'm saying though, is that also the second level, which was this one, also closed underneath this first level. So it closing underneath is just showing more respect now. So if that's the case, this is number 1, this is number 2, and then that's where I say is the break of this low, which is this green candle right here. This would be the salary play. So the break of that low is what signals your entry. So we were just talking about, you know, once we break this low, it needs to come down. So, you know, and that was at 57. So now it's at 54, 30 pips. But like I said, I'm just going to close. Happy weekend, guys. You just close, Pack. Good job, man. Good job. Yeah, Donvo's a crazy human, man. He's genius. Hey, good job, Zion. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hey, Pack. Good job, man. Good weekend, guys. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of really not going to take no trades right now, but I'm definitely going to just keep reading some price action, you know, and that's how we get better every single day, is just reading it. And it's also good to read it out loud, because honestly, one thing I realize, guys, is what trading does is it holds us accountable. And what it does for holding us accountable is that when you speak it out, like what I'm doing right now, if I was lying to you guys, I would know, because I know what I'm lying about and I know what I'm telling the truth about. So it's really holding my own self accountable. So if when you're talking it out loud, you'll really start to realize, hey man, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Or then you might run into something that you do know what you're talking about, and you're like, damn, I really do know what I'm talking about. And then you get better at it because you've already talked it out, and then you could hear what it sounds like. But I'm just saying, like, you just gotta get better every day, bro. That's really about it. My bad. Let me check this chart real quick. But yeah, if you guys understand the salary play with Donvo and his strategy, this, like I said, is the perfect example. One level, this broke the second level right here, and that would be your trade. And the reason why you would take the break of this low, like if you see, because there's the top of the wick, then there's the body right here, and then there's also the bottom wick. So all three of these levels, you could probably ask yourself, what are you waiting for? But the idea of what Donvo has came up with is that when this candle that you're waiting for the break, if it has a tall top wick, then you could do the break of the body. But if this candle doesn't have a tall top wick, like this one didn't, then you have to wait for the bottom wick, because this will be more confirmation, because it won't break the low unless it's really going to start pushing. But like I said, the higher the wick, the more liquidity it grabs, which is also why you can start bringing your entry, if it wanted to come down, a little bit higher because of that, you know. So yeah, let me see what this is forming like. Oh, this thing is, or that could be a bottom wick. Oh, okay, look at, guys, look at what I see right here. I see a three-piece forming right here, right? So a three-piece formed, and then it did break the lows here, but that's what that caused to go around. But when this breaks, it usually goes up to the next range, which is at least up here. So I'm thinking it needs to at least come back up here to this 57 level some way or another before coming back down. Possibly. We'll see how this keeps opening and closing, but that's the idea of, that's what I get when I see these type of candles like here. This candle, then this candle that's inside of the first candle, which is like they call it an inside bar, and then when this candle breaks the low and then comes back up, that lets you know we're inside of this range right here. But like I said, I'm also done at this did just create a fake out, it looks like. So now this could be that onion play. So this was the onion possibly also. So it did just close, but this doesn't have a top wick. So I'm gonna see what this does. I wonder if this could be the break to continue up. But I'm also on the 5. Let me see what this 5 minute. Yeah, that was actually the top wick. So it also is continuing down. Yeah, so I mean, that's why I'm saying is I wouldn't want to take no buys into this, but I was just trying to read price action. This is also why you do these repetitions. You try to tell yourself what needs to happen, and this did technically happen, but because the top of the range is this candle right here, so this would be the top of the range, and this would be the bottom of the range. So if you see the top of the range right here and right here, this is what happened. Exactly like I always say is about the three-piece, is that when the three-piece happens like this, it needs to at least touch the top of the range, and then look at what happened. This is the top of the range that got hit. So I mean, it kind of answers the question. I mean, it does tell me though, is like I said, at some point I'm wondering if those need to be tapped up here, but This is why it's, you know, it's happening right there. Just gonna keep reading. Like I said, this could be another top wick to continue down. Let's see how this 15 closes. See the 15, but then if you also look on the 15, this is why it also tells me it might need to come up, is for the reason is the same thing as I say on the 5 minute. There's a level 1, and then this is a level 2, right? This would be the break, so that usually continuation. But if you go to the higher time frame, which is the 15 minute, it's technically only a level 1 break. So what this tells me though is that at some point we might need to come back into this range to create a possible support or something right here, the same way we did on that 5 minute. So if we need to create a support or something, at some point we're going to need to create a support, come back up, break the highs, and then come down again, the same way it created it on this smaller time frame, which is technically this little area right here. So even though this is probably also why it's not pushing down right now, you know, it might need to start creating some ranges to come back up, break some highs, and then continue back down. But like I said, I only see that because I've seen it before. Because like I said, you go to the 5 minute, this is where you see a level 1 and then a level 2 right here. But then you go to the 15, it's only a level 1. So what that tells me though is that at some point we might need to create a support or like a support area right here to create the second level. So when we do break this level, it will continue down. It would also confirm that we're going to continue down. So this is kind of why I'm saying though is that if you kind of look at this move, not saying it can't, I mean obviously it always could come down because this is actually a clear range, but that's just how I read price actions a lot of times, is that if you want to move like this real fast, you're already late to the party for this candle because this is where the volume was at. So now what needs to happen for more volume is, I believe, another level needs to get created. So what needs to happen is, you know, we need to create a support somewhere right here, maybe even another onion play, and then, you know, break it again, and then the break of these lows will be the one that continues down. But then let's say you go to a 30 minute, what it would look like on a 30 minute will most likely be the same thing as it does on a 5 to 15, where there's 2 levels on the 15, and then now on the 30 it's only 1 level like this. Look, now this is just one big level. So if this wanted to continue down, it would need to create another support and doing the same thing over again. So that's what I'm saying is that what I've kind of realized just by watching these charts over and over and over. But if you also look on the 30 minute, it looks like a possible, actually this did create a 42, which is here, and the break of these lows create a 42. So you go to the previous time frame, and the previous time frame says way down here. So actually this is also confirming that we are going to continue moving down. So at some point we do need to create a fake out here in these levels. So I do see these 41 level getting tapped at some point. Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna most likely need to tap these levels. Probably in here, either here or here. But I mean, I'm guessing it'll probably be. I'm guessing it'll be somewhere here. And I'm guessing, I don't know exactly, but that's what I'm saying though, is that okay, that's what's giving me the information on, you know, these time frames like this. But it's the same thing where if this is a 42, then on a 5 minute it should say the same thing, and then on a 30 minute technically a 42 is about to start forming. So look, this is a whole 3-piece right here that's forming. So if this one closes in 20 minutes without breaking this high or this low, it'll be the break of the third candle, either high or low, which will signal which way we're going to head for a fake out. So if we head for a fake out, let's say, but this one is already telling me down. So at some point we need to come down. So what I'm thinking might need to happen is that this one might need to break some highs over here, but not this yellow line. It might just come over here to tap, but then continue like that. But like I said, it's going to be up to what breaks first, the high or the low. So let's say it does break this high, then it's going to say fake out up, and then sometime later probably down. But that's where I'm saying is that we're going to need to wait for this next candle to close. So this next candle right here is going to be important. So if we break the high, there's a good chance that we hit at least here or even here. But if we break these lows right here, there's a good chance, because there's really no support until back down here. So let's see on the 15, the support will be not till like right here, I get. Yep, about right where this blue box is at. So a lot of stuff is kind of giving me the confirmation that most likely we're going to start moving down. But like I said, I don't know yet. I don't know for sure yet. But so what might need to happen though is we might need to at least tap into this range at some point. So if we close, let's say the 30 has this, so it's gonna, this candle, however it closes at the break of this high or low, is where it's gonna give us a direction of which way we're gonna continue. And like I said, the 15 is already telling us down a little bit. So what might need to happen is, but then this is also creating the next three piece now. So when this, however this closes, this one's either gonna need to break the highs, or it's gonna need to break these lows right here. But the thing is if this next one doesn't break the highs or lows, then it's going to be important to see where this one closes also. So then when this one closes, it's going to give us a direction where it's going to go. So if the possible 15 and 30 both give us a direction going down, where do you think this one might end up telling us? It might need to tell us go down. So if it tells us to go down, then like I said, it's just more and more confirmations, higher and higher, just letting us know where we're heading, kind of a thing. So yeah, sorry guys, I haven't seen your chat. Oh, you're back. What happened? Hefe, I've been back for a little while, but I've been working on some other stuff. My bad, I just seen your message. I've been working on some stuff. All right, let me know if you guys are good in the chat. Can you guys hear me? I know my internet sometimes be cutting out, in and out sometimes, but speaking loud makes your brain capture more info in that when you're just thoughts hard batting. I know you're a good player. Yeah, no, Hefe, I just been working on some stuff. If you guys haven't hit that like button, hit that like and subscribe. We're gonna be streaming pretty much every single day again, so make sure you guys are joining every single day. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe, make sure you guys subscribe. And also in the description is our Discord, our Instagram, and our TikTok. So if you guys want to join any of those, feel free to join, and we post over there quite often. And also, if you guys haven't followed, make sure you guys follow this channel right here. This is called the Donvo's Clip Channel. This is where I also do clips at, and I do clips for Donvo. So if you guys want to watch a lot of videos that I post and a lot of just information where you can learn from, definitely join this channel right here. There's a lot of good videos, a lot of information that he says that I capture that I think is very important. So make sure you make sure that you what the heck. So yeah, make sure that you guys follow that channel. It's a lot of information that's helpful. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, follow this up, guys. Let's see if anybody followed. We got 382. Let's see if we get 383. But just type in Donvo clips. And when you type in Donvo clips, you'll get that, and there's a lot of good info. I got some good videos I'm gonna post today, so be ready for those today. Oh yeah, but what do you guys think about that black Porsche? See, look, this is also a good thing to do too. News happened today, right? So look at what happened to news. What did we do? We went down first and then we went up. So let's see what happened during news. These are the three folders, right? So what happened during the first one? We were forecasting 0.03. Previous was 0.4 and actual was 0.4. So technically they were forecasting it to be small, like worse, but it actually came out better, but which was also still the same as it was previously. So if that's the case, see, this is stuff we should be keeping track of. I might need to write this down again. It has like 4 seats, but I'm sure it fits more than 4 girls. Yeah, exactly, player. How many girls can you fit in? That's how they should calculate the seats, huh? Not about how many seat belts. It's about how many girls could sit in there. But yeah, like I said, this is something that's good to remember. I might need to write these things down, because like I said, if I have a journal of a bunch of news candles, how they open, how they forecasted, how they did this, and what they ended up doing, it'll, over 6 months of time, you'll be able to really have an idea of what happens. But yeah, look it. So yeah, the first one, it did the same, but it did that. Yeah. Actually, this is, I might as well. I can't be talking about it and not doing it. I'm gonna just write it down until I put it on a computer. I'm gonna need to write it down. All right, news. So what I'm doing right now is I'm writing these down. I'm gonna write the forecast, what they are, what they did, and over 6 months time, I'm gonna try to go back and see what happens, So the date today is January 5th, 2024. So January 5th, 2024. What was the news? Red folder. Red folder. USD. Average hourly earnings. And there's 3 of them. So that's number 1. Number 2 was the same thing. Non-farm. I'm just writing them down just so I could eventually put them in like a computer or something, just so I could keep track of them better. Change. And number 3 was unemployment rate. Unemployment rate. Okay, so average hourly, actual 4.0, or no, it's 0.4, 0.4%. Then that non-farming is 2016, 6K, and 3.7, 7%, and that one's the K. So what this one would be is actual forecast previous. All right, so 0.3 is next. 0.3, 0.3%. And then this one is 168K. And then this next one is 3.8%. And then the previous was 0.04. And then the previous is 173, 173, and 3.7, 3.8, and then 3.7. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of every day that the news happens, and I'm going to try to see, like, I'm just going to see, like, you know, the forecast, the previous, and the actual. So, you know, like when I see, let's say we were forecast worse, and then we end up going positive, but it's also the same as the previous, then I'm gonna see, you know, does it usually do the same thing? Same thing with this. Let's say we do 200K, which is actual, and we forecasted 168, which was worse than previous. So everything was worse than previous, and then we ended up doing better. So what I'm saying though is that as long as everything either stays the same, if not better, what happens? And then you look at the chart, what happened during these candles. This candle right here was at 5:30. So what time was it at? 5:30 exactly. So at 5:30, what happens at this time? So it went down before moving up. So if it went down, that means that was just grabbing liquidity. So if, like I said, if we're watching this and everything is forecasted worse, and then we end up doing better, if not the same or better, then we'll know that what needs to possibly happen is we need to break the highs or lows of here. And if you kind of think about it, this created a 42. So if you kind of were if you were paying attention to it right here, this created a 42. So the break of the third candle is what lets you know which way it's going to continue. So it let us know we're going this way because we broke this high first compared to this low first, which is this third candle. So once we broke that candle, that signaled the 42 to at least the next range, and this was the one range. The next range was at least right here. And if you kind of notice, that's exactly where we got this traffic at before breaking out again. So, but the thing is if you had runners from down here, you're able to ride it all the way up because of the fact that you knew that, like I said, your entry was way down here. Look, you didn't even get tapped or anything like that. So obviously if you're in a trade somewhere up here or right here, you're getting tapped out before that big push. But if we're able to read the candles how we read them, it kind of just signals that. So that's what I'm saying though, is that let's say we're watching news and and we keep track of all of the days, and we see what happens, and we're like, oh, good news is coming out. We're gonna wait for a drop first. We're gonna wait for something to form, either a 3-piece or a 42 or something, and then ride it up. But I want to check something real quick. I want to see. So this was the break of the high. So that was that. All right. So technically our entry would have been right here, because that was where the break of that high was at. Because if you go to the 5-minute, the break of this candle right here is the 42, which is this guy. So you break this candle. It didn't break it on this candle, but the next one did. But like I said, the break of that candle will let you know. All right, yep, that's where it's at. The break of that candle. So pretty much the break of there. So, but what do I see right here that will give us the indication that we're gonna move that way? Nothing too crazy really tells me that, but it's mainly on the 5 that tells me that, because like I said, it just the 5 gives me this information. So even if you did take this entry, you would wick down like that, but it's not that much of a, I mean, it's a little bit of drawdown, but it's nothing is indicating that it's going to continue down. And that, I might as well do it right now. Damn, I think, let me know if my chat is working still. Is the live still on? I don't know, because sometimes it closes off and it sounded like it just logged me back in on something. Oh, it's still working, huh? Oh, we're still logged in. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. So that's actually what I'm doing, bro. Oh, I'm from California, bro. Where you from, player? I forgot you told me, but where you from? Cali, yeah, California, bro. Let me see. Google Maps. Do I have it right here? I do. Google Maps. I have it right here too. Google Maps.